Good morning and welcome to JNUC 2020, everyone. My name is JNUC, and I'm responsible for community engagement and advocacy at Jamf. I'm so excited that you decided to join me for this year's Jamf Heroes session. While I've presented at JNUC in the past, I've never had an entire session to speak about heroes, so we're going to have some fun. Now, I recognize that if you're new to Jamf, aren't a customer yet, or even have been with us for a while but haven't come across this program, you're probably wondering, what is a Jamf hero? We'll cover that along with how and why heroes got started and what's included in the program. At the end, I'll jump into a Zoom room. If you have additional questions, I'd love for you to stop in and say hi. So let's get started with the definition of a Jamf hero. While I have my own opinions on how to describe a Jamf hero, and you'll hear it in a little bit, let's kick it over to some of my really smart colleagues and see how they describe a Jamf hero.
A Jamf hero is those individuals who are out there leading the way and helping all the rest of us navigate it. They're in the trenches, they're collaborating, they're working, and they're supporting all of us in the community for what's next, what are they running into, and how are we all going to get through it. And I just really want to say thank you to all of you who have continued to contribute, and our heroes. What you do is tremendous.
What is a Jamf hero? Well, I think it's hard to describe in a single sentence. First of all, our Jamf heroes are simply amazing. It's really an incredibly vibrant community, people with diverse backgrounds from various geographies, levels of expertise, who really come together and connect and help each other in using our products. I think Jamf heroes are as passionate about helping people succeed with Apple as we are as Jamfs. And it's obvious from the work that they do with JNUC that they're having fun along the way. I'm incredibly grateful that this community exists, and I really look forward to seeing it continue to grow.
What is a Jamf hero? I'm not a big fan of reinventing the wheel, so I decided to look it up. In the online dictionary, the word hero means a person who is admired for their courage, outstanding achievements, or noble qualities. That seems like a pretty good definition to me. You are all out there accomplishing outstanding achievements, yet you are thoughtful enough and noble enough to advocate for Jamf publicly. And you have the courage to tell us and others what we need to hear. You help us get better. That's what a Jamf hero is to me. Thank you for being Jamf heroes.
I don't know about you, but I love hearing from Jamf senior leaders. So much inspiration. And like them, I agree, Jamf heroes are passionate and hardworking. But that begs the question, would I have agreed with them before I heard their responses? Let's listen to how I described what a Jamf hero was when I was a guest on Jamf's podcast, Jamf After Dark, several months ago.
And you've managed to take those interactions and expand on them and build a program around them. So can you tell us what a Jamf hero is?
Yeah, it's a really big question. And depending on who you ask within Jamf, you're probably going to get a different answer. But I put a lot of thought into this because I knew you'd ask. So to put it best, not perfect, but the best way I would describe Jamf heroes is that they're individuals across every industry and geography who believe in the power of Apple technology and pair it with Jamf to help accomplish their organizational goals. And most of them do it with creativity and passion. So that may seem really generic, but that's the best way as a whole I can describe what a Jamf hero is. It's people who are doing incredible things with Apple and Jamf in their environments. And it's really different depending on who they are, where they're at.
So now we have an idea of what a Jamf hero is. Great. But whose bright idea was it to start a program like this anyway? While I'd like to say I thought of it, I honestly didn't know what customer advocacy in B2B markets was. Sure, I was familiar with the idea in a B2C world. I mean, we've all experienced what it means to wear our favorite brands proudly. People still covet the latest Jordans or Nikes. And people still proudly show their love of Patagonia, Louis Vuitton, and Burberry. But displaying the same love of brand in the B2B world, does that make sense? Yeah, it does. You all have been doing it for years. You've come to our events, you've organized and attended many meetups, and you've shared our content with others because you knew it would help them in their roles. But what did we do to thank you? Sure, there was the occasional drink or thank you card. I love handwritten mail, but it wasn't enough. So back in 2018, our leaders within Jamf's marketing org asked me to build and manage a customer advocacy program. Truth be told, I had no idea what I was doing, but I knew if I asked customers what they wanted and continued to iterate on how to provide the best experience possible, I'd figure it out. So that's what I did. But I wanted to do more than thank you all for the amazing things you've done for Jamf and each other. I wanted to give you ways to engage with each other and on a global scale. I wanted to allow you to learn more about Jamf, our company, and all of the people who make it great. I wanted to give you opportunities to learn and advance your own career. I wanted to make it easy for you to provide feedback because we all know you have a lot of feedback and we want to hear it. And maybe most importantly, I wanted to give you a place to take a break from your busy day and have fun, because why would you come back if you didn't have fun? So while I officially launched Jamf Heroes to a small group of customers in July of 2018 to make sure I did a good enough job, I announced it to all Jamf customers, as you see here at JNUC 2018. And you were receptive. Within just that first few days of JNUC, there were hundreds of you who signed up for Jamf's new customer advocacy program, Jamf Heroes. Boy, was I excited. And while I had high expectations for the program, I didn't fully anticipate what it would look like just 2 years later. It's amazing. And here's a quick view of what it looks like. When you enter into the hub, you'll see 3 tabs up at the top: challenges, referrals, and rewards. The challenges tab will likely be where you spend the majority of your time. And then you'll see where you can claim a daily bonus just for logging in every day and simply hitting the button, starting with 5 points on the first day, all the way up to 25 points on day 5. And then as you scroll down, you'll see all of these gray boxes called channels. You can think of channels as folders that contain challenges that all relate to the channel topic. So when you go into the Welcome to Jamf Heroes channel, you'll see a lot of activities that include and introduce you to the hub, including a few videos from me. And if you wanted to learn more about Jamfs and your fellow Jamf heroes, you can take a look at the person behind the mask. Here you'll see a number of bios. There are bios of your fellow Jamf heroes, and that all kinds of details like where they excel in Jamf and their favorite superhero. There is also one about me and even a bio for Jamf's CEO, Dean Hager, which you can see here. It has lots of fun and surprising information. They're a lot of fun to read. Take a look. And then when you go back out to that main screen, you'll see a huge assortment of challenges that cover everything from letting you know about the newest ebooks and white papers to opportunities to give feedback about our products. You can see what each challenge is by the tag in the lower left-hand corner. There's a huge assortment to choose from. And if you want to read about why the CSAT score is important, we cover that too. Of course, I made it just a little more fun by asking heroes to share photos of their pets. This is an example of an open challenge where anyone in the program can see the challenge responses. And I don't know about you, but I'm always a fan of looking at cute animals. Once you've completed a number of challenges, you can head over to the rewards section to see what you can claim with all of your earned points. I'm scrolling up there. Currently, You can get a $50 gift card to the JNUC swag store, donate your points to make a $50 donation to a charity, or even use points towards some course certification swag, easy for me to say, that you'll see here. There's a variety of both branded and non-branded items in the rewards section, and those change throughout the year. I try and keep it interesting, so there's always something that you want to earn. And women, you weren't left out. There are items for men and women in the rewards section, and they make awesome gifts. And yes, this is the only place you can get Jamf Heroes branded swag. So if you love unique Jamf swag, this is where you want to get it. And of course, if you want to reach out to either me or your fellow Jamf Heroes in the hub, you can do that too through this envelope in the top right corner. You can also see your points and profile here. So that's the hub in a nutshell. There's a lot to dig into, a lot to learn, and a ton of fun waiting for you on the inside. And since Jamf Heroes launched just over 2 years ago, I've had the opportunity to recognize 10 individuals for their outstanding involvement in the program. This also meant I got to learn how to pronounce a lot of names. Congratulations again to everyone shown here for your outstanding commitment to Jamf. Over the last 2 years, in addition to those hard names, I've also learned how I can better support you, because your jobs are hard. And this year in particular, they've been the hardest yet. But not only did most of you have to figure out how to work in an entirely new way, you also had to guide your organizations on how to be remote. And some of you were more prepared for that than others by no fault of your own. The world today isn't what it was a year ago. So my job is to help you through it. Through Jamf Heroes, it's my responsibility to get you the resources you need to help manage Apple devices in your new environment. So through the hub, I give you first looks at our new ebooks, white papers, and blogs that tackle the topics of what it means to deliver remote care, remote learning, and remote work. And I let you know about upcoming webinars so you can be sure to get them on your calendars. And I don't know about you all, but I miss the social aspects of the office that we had prior to the pandemic. But you all reminded me that we can connect in powerful and arguably better ways, because in virtual environments, we don't need to think about borders or distance. We do have to think about time, but that's doable. So what exactly am I talking about? Virtual meetups. Well, I'd love to claim the idea was mine. It wasn't. Instead, it was yet another fabulous idea from one of our existing Jamf Heroes. Hey, Jenny, can we have a virtual meetup as a way to connect with each other and get some human interaction? Yes! Since that request came in May, groups of heroes have met twice a month, as it works with their schedules, of course, to come together and to chat. I do about 10 minutes of housekeeping and announcements. Then for the remaining 50 minutes, heroes answer each other's questions. And more than once, we've had 7 countries represented on the call. How often do you get to interact with individuals from several other countries at the same time? It's pretty awesome. But you don't have to take my word for it. After all, this is the program I started and continue to manage. So, of course, I'm going to say it's great. So how about we hear from the heroes themselves? Do they like the program as much as I hope they do? Fingers crossed. Let's listen.
Wat ik het leukste vind aan Jamf Heroes is denk ik het gevoel dat ik ergens bij hoor wat dicht staat bij Jamf. Waar we elkaar kunnen helpen en tegelijkertijd ook Jamf kunnen helpen met het geven van feedback en het pitchen van ideeën, delen van ideeën. Tegelijkertijd komen we in contact met andere klanten die wellicht hetzelfde traject gaan lopen als wat wij hebben gedaan. En we kunnen daarbij gewoon van dienst zijn voor zowel Jamf als voor de nieuwe klant die dezelfde implementatie gaat doen.
In terms of what I like best about Jamf Heroes, probably just kind of the friendly competition with other Mac admins. I'm always a bit for gamification, though I've sadly dropped a lot lower in the rankings than when Jamf Heroes first started. No longer in the top 5, but otherwise it's a good way to engage with the community and also have, you know, just a bit of gamification in there as well.
Dans Jamf Heroes, c'est la possibilité de donner mon avis ou d'aider les équipes de Jamf quand ils ont une question très particulière sur un sujet précis. Bon, évidemment, j'aime bien aussi les petits challenges.
Hi, my name is Sarah Brown. I work for Pulaski School District as the mobility specialist in the technology department. What do I like best about Jamf Heroes and why? My job is truly Jamf all day. So being able to provide feedback for some of the things that I encounter on a daily basis, I feel like is a great feature. I also like all the information shared, whether it's, you know, podcast, case study, webinar, white paper. They're all super valuable, and I get so much out of them.
What I like best about Jamf Heroes? The teamwork. Everyone coming together to support one another.
I like everything about Jamf Heroes. I really appreciate, as you know, not being as heavy a Jamf user as some of the other people in the Heroes team, the chance to hear about how other people use Jamf and to give feedback on things and just to get to know the team that's behind the software is nice enough on itself, to be honest.
What do I like best about Jamf Heroes and why? I'm increasingly liking the virtual meetups because of the social aspects recently over the past few months. For obvious reasons, it's nice to be able to talk to some more people. I've been stuck at home 200 kilometers away from the office since March, so it's nice to talk.
And what makes Jamf Heroes special to me is that it's a unique group of individuals and everybody has something different that they do with Jamf, and yet they're willing to bring their experience and their expertise to help each other in any way possible. And the thing that is so special to me is that you never know who you're going to see on one of our meetings, and it is absolutely amazing to leave the meeting and come out of it with something that you've learned from a conversation every single time. It's amazing. So thank you for that, and I'm happy to be a hero.
What do I like most about Jamf Heroes? Well, if you would have asked me this a few months ago, I would have said the ability to speak to prospective customers about Jamf and what a great company it is. But now I have to say the virtual Jamf meetups are what I like most about Heroes. They've given me a way to interact with other heroes on a regular basis, put faces to names, and develop connections on a different level that I otherwise wouldn't have been able to do.
Now, truth be told, I never quite know what will come from me asking for Jamf Heroes to submit videos. These were awesome, and you heard it from them. If you want to be more involved in Jamf, if you want to meet other Jamf customers and learn from their expertise, if you want to share your love of Jamf with others, if you want to get to know more about the people and processes behind the product, Jamf Heroes is for you. Oh, and you probably want to know what that handwritten thank you note turned into, right? All of those tasks or challenges you complete in the hub, as I mentioned earlier, earn you virtual points. Over time, those points collect into a virtual piggy bank, and once you have enough, you can cash them in for real prizes. But as I quickly showed, if you're not allowed to accept prizes because of company policy or what have you, don't worry, there are also opportunities to use your points for non-material items. Right now, for instance, heroes can cash in their points for donations to either the World Wildlife Fund in Australia or Doctors Without Borders. But again, no need to just hear it from me. Let's see what the heroes have claimed and why they love their prizes.
So the best thing I've earned with the Jamf Heroes program is actually outside in the rain right now, so I'm unable to show that, but it's a cooler where you can keep your drinks while doing a bit of barbecue with friends or family. But it's kind of twofold because maybe this is not something I've earned, but or maybe I did, but it's a sticker on the back of my Mac. It has the Jamf Heroes logo on it, and on many occasions people ask me about what is it, does it mean to be a Jamf Hero? So it's a cool conversation starter.
So for the best swag that I've received from Jamf Heroes, it's probably a tie for two. And as Jenny would know, I used to constantly ask her when she'd be putting the new AirPods up as one of the rewards. So AirPods Gen 2, so that was one of the awesome ones, though these are now actually my wife's AirPods. But probably the other bit of swag that I use every single day would be my Jamf drink bottle. So this is actually filled with coffee. So every morning I brew myself a nice batch of coffee and fill this up. So that's usually gone by midday. Yeah, so use it every day. It's great.
Mon accessoire préféré, c'est celui-là. Mais là, il fait vraiment trop chaud pour plus le garder.
What's the best swag you've earned for Jamf Heroes? It has to be my Adrian hoodie, which I'm sporting now. Kind of a backstory, I went to JNUC the last 8 years, and I would always see Jamf employees wearing these hoodies, and I was like, you know, I have to have one. I'm kind of a Jamf super fan. So kind of, I just feel like I fit in now that I have one. So I thought that was awesome, and when I saw it as one of the rewards, I was so pumped.
What is the best swag you've earned from Jamf Heroes? Sitting right behind me, Nest outdoor camera. Face it, I work in IT, which means I work in a basement.
My favourite piece of Jamf swag is these thermal flasks. In fact, I like the first one so much I got another one, so now I have two of them. Really, because I struggle to drink enough, so between the two of them, they kind of take care of that one nicely for me.
What is the best swag we've earned from Jamf Heroes? I don't actually have anything to show for this one because the best thing for me is the WWF donations. I'm more sympathetic to fluffy animals than I am to people, so instead of Doctors Without Borders, I sent my money to cute koalas.
My favorite swag would be the thermal coffee mugs, which are just absolutely awesome. They keep your coffee hot all day, and hello, it's coffee, so you can't go wrong there. The other thing is this awesome Under Armour water thing that has this great handle, and it just kind of hooks on my thing when I'm going down to the beach, so there's that.
What is the best piece of swag I earned from Jamf Heroes? Well, that would be the party tailgate cooler. Haven't been able to use it at all yet this year because of social distancing and no tailgating yet, but I'm going to be using it next week when we do MacBook refresh in the parking lot of our district office. I'm gonna fill it up with some nice cool water. As you can see, I got some in there already, and we're gonna have a little tailgate as we social distance and hand out MacBooks to new staff members.
If you're already a Jamf Hero, thank you. I couldn't be more grateful for all of your activity in the hub. You've not only made my job really special and rewarding over the past couple of years, but you've also provided priceless feedback that's helped Jamf build a better product. We are so grateful. If you're not yet a Jamf Hero, but this presentation made you realize you want to be one, there's no better time than the present to sign up. Here's what you need to know. Heroes is open to current customers only. If you're not yet a customer, we can't wait to have you join the Jamf family. And then I'll be excited to invite you in. So current customers, go ahead and visit the link that I'll show in just a second, or simply scan the UR code. These will both bring you to a form. Once you fill that out, you'll receive a notification that you'd like to join Jamf Heroes. From there, I'll send you an invitation to join. But let's hear a few words of thanks, not only from me, but from some of my colleagues before you decide to join. One sec.
Hey, Mike Voss, thanks for being part of the Jamf Heroes program. Really appreciate all that you do for us.
Hi Heroes, Aga from UX Team. Thank you for always helping us with UX research. Dzięki, że zawsze mogę liczyć na Wasz udział w badaniach i za szczery feedback. Jesteście najlepsi.
I love Jamf Heroes because it gives us a direct window into the problems you're facing and how we can build our software to better solve those problems. A lot has changed at Jamf this year, but one thing that will never change is our relentless focus on you, our customers. So thanks for being a hero.
Thank you, Jamp Heroes, for everything that you do.
Hey Jamf Heroes, from all of us at Jamf, thank you so much for everything you have done, continue to do, and will do. We would not be where we are today in the Jamf Hero community without you. And I just want to say thank you for constantly educating not only the Jamf Nation community, but for me as well. I personally have grown because of so many of you, so thank you for everything. I personally want to thank a few people. First, I want to thank Lee Casiobo. It's been so wonderful to have worked with you at Apple 10 years ago, and here we are today still getting to collaborate in many ways. I also want to thank Steve Wood. You're actually the first Jamf Hero I ever met, and I will never forget you supporting that in-market event we did in Texas. So thank you for not only those, but also hosting JNUCs. And then of course, big thank you to Eric Boyd. It has been so wonderful to work with you in so many ways, from JNUCs, webinars, customer calls, and in-market events. I also want to thank Eric Boyd for helping me with my mission for bougie food. Side note, in downtown Los Angeles, he helped me find some bougie donuts. He knew I love donuts and found an amazing donut spot. So not only helpful for Jamf needs, but will help you find donuts too.
This is a shout out to all of our Jamf Heroes out there. Thank you for being Jamf customers. Thank you for your advocacy. Thank you for helping us get better. Just thank you for all that you do.
And again, here's that link if you want to sign up. Just go over to jamp.it/heroes or scan this QR code. And I know we're right at time and you might be excited to jump into some other sessions, but if you have some time and want to join me in a Zoom room, I'll be there for a little bit to answer some of your questions, along with some other Jamf Heroes that can tell you how truly special the program is. Again, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for wanting to learn more about Heroes. I really hope that I see your application come through and I can invite you into the program and see you on the inside. Have a fabulous rest of JNUC. Take care.